All right, people. Well, I am extremely excited because, unbeknownst to me, a new official trailer for the Fallout Prime show, which is coming out in about a month, almost exactly a month, just dropped. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm super excited to watch this, but I'm going to watch it in a minute with my beautiful little face in the corner so you can look at it while I react to it. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
I'm that guy.
A veritable Camelot of the nuclear age. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man. You can be a hero by purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
Seen this shop before. This is not new. Shady Sands Republic Library.
The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone. To come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Holy shit. You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you dipshits were dead.
What you're doing is insane.
I don't set the world
It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
fire. I just want to start.
I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
In my
You need to go home. You come from a world of rules, of laws. You should not be alone.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me?
People are going to come after you.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Volty. Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs. Look out at this wasteland. Looks like chaos. But there's always somebody behind the wheel.
What is happening here?
Everyone wants to save the world. They disagree on how.
There you are, you little killer.
This is gonna be good, man. I just know it. Yes, yes, yes. Let's dive into it. I'll turn the volume down a little.
Hello there. I'm here to...
So it opens with Mr. Walton Goggins. So Goggins plays the ghoul, also named Cooper Howard, who it looks like he used to be an actor of some sort. A little bit later in the trailer, they show him watching one of his old shows. Looks like an old Western style show. I'm not sure if it was made for the trailer or it could be an actual video that he made for Vault-Tec. I'm thinking that's what it is. That he did a job for them. Maybe he was like their spokesperson. So the irony of that Vault-Tec, kind of were the ones that effed him over in the end. So here it looks like just a camera secretly recording the vault, because in reality these vaults are like not what they seem, and they're essentially each vault is testing something. So in the vault that Ella Purnell's character Lucy is in, perhaps they're
living in certain different biomes of some sort. Like maybe the vault she lives in is a kind of farming, cultivating type biome, as you can see. But plus they're in a vault, but it looks like that. So I'm wondering if they're using some type of technology to make it look like more than what it actually is. Likely, who knows? I mean, but at the same time, someone would have walked over there to like, you know, till the ground or whatever. But it's curious to see what this is about. This is kind of the most curious thing that I'm thinking about is this something that they can actually see and walk around in and touch, or is there a certain point where they can't walk past for some mysterious reason that Vault-Tec won't tell them about? But they're being recorded on an old school camera to like check the progress, is what I'm thinking.
The nuclear age. Not made by God Almighty, but not made.
Of course, they have a Vault Boy, which is interesting to see, but it's kind of the Vault-Tec mascot, and there's Vault Boys everywhere.
Made by God Almighty.
So this kind of strikes me as one of those day in the life, establishing shots that they would have in the beginning of a show. Like, this is what it's like in here, and this is what it's like now, but it's all gonna change in a minute. And again, the attention to detail on the detail of the vaults is absolutely game perfect. There's somebody running around. Maybe it's a medical person or a food deliverer of some sort. And there you have the overseer, Kyle McClanahan, who's Lucy's dad. And you can see how they're this happy little community and there's part of the farm behind them. But again, is like beyond that, is it just a big screen that they think is the rest of the farmland? Or do they know that this here? Because it looks really fake. I mean, that looks like AstroTurf. And then Mr. Kyle McClanahan, who's, I'm sure he's waving at his daughter or something from a window, like, "Hi, Daddy. Hi, daughter. I love you. I love you too, Daddy. Everything's perfect until it's not." That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. They're all getting ready for a community supper of some sort. And there's like people's mailboxes with the numbers of their, you know, room, I guess, because they all in rooms. There he is,
You can
Mr.
be a hero
Goggins again, continuing with this,
by
like,
purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today.
right. So maybe he's aware of what's going on, or he's just, we're doing this for a paycheck, likely just a paycheck job. Because he's an actor, as he saw, but maybe later in his career, he wasn't as famous and he was taking whatever job he could. That's a new thing that I can't remember if I read before about him being an actor or not. So that's an extra layer to his character.
Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
Yeah. Walton is already by far the most interesting character to me. Like, Lucy is kind of the obvious choice of, like, she's the good character. It's a little bit like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Lucy is the good one, Maximus is the bad one, and of course, the ghoul is the ugly. I've already seen before in the last trailer. This trailer didn't get me as excited as the last one. Last one was just way more action, and like some of the shots in this are from the same from the trailer. This shot keeps reminding me of Fire Harbor for some reason. LA, and there's actually Lucy and Maximus. They meet. This all could be maybe from like the first couple episodes. Shady Sands Public Library. Libraries are always a part of the games. Maybe she has to go there and retrieve something. I'm wondering how much of that they're going to put in the show of like the quest type style of go here, do this, go here, do that, save this person, find this person. But there's a giant atomic hole there, which is, where one of the bombs dropped that destroyed everything. And the old style cars that they have that are like futuristic but retro. Well, not futuristic, because likely the way it looks like the bombs fell back in like the 50s or the 40s, and then they've been underground ever since. I mean, not Lucy, because she was probably born like 20 years ago, but she's never seen this world to her, so this is all completely blowing her mind. All right, just like from the other trailer, she's leaving the vault, and it looks like she was supposed to go with the group and left them behind and decided to go out on her own. And the real light of the real world is blinding to her because she's never seen it before.
The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone.
Yeah, there she is reacting to like the light that she's never seen before. And there's the guy that she's probably knocked out, got into a fight with, and her friend over here who maybe was supposed to go with her, but she left them behind. Of course, even the design is like Vault-Tec with the way the big giant door opens. Again, this is a similar shot before. She's never seen this world. She's completely out of her element.
To come up to the surface one day and
Restart civilization. Yeah, so there's a stim pack, exactly like the game. Another Vault Boy. This is like some type of pawn shop that she finds in a city. So these are all things that she's seen before, but these could likely be like rare relics to these people that they buy and sell with.
civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Right, so she has no idea.
Holy shit. You're an
And then this lady,
actual
she's in everything. I forget her name, Joey something. She has like a name, a weird kind of male type name, but she's been around forever. Like she's been around forever. She's one of those actors that you still don't know what her name is. She's been in everything. But she's hilarious. She's always funny. Though she's really good at playing a bad person. And here I'm thinking she's like a neutral kind of NPC style character who's neither good or bad.
vault dweller.
But
I am.
she's laughing because she's likely don't see many or any vault dwellers at all. But Ella Purnell, she's like stinking gorgeous, but she just has perfect innocence with her eyes and a tiny cut on her lip from likely having the fight with her friend before she left the vault. But she's alarmingly pretty. Not that that matters, but I feel that's going to help with her character of like, you know, her change of like being this innocent young girl to like this warrior.
I thought all you dipshits were dead.
Right, so nobody really knows that the people in the vaults are still around or still exist. Mr. Jonathan Nolan.
What you're doing is insane.
I don't set the world.
It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
So there's her friend that was opening the vault for her that I guess she got into a with for some reason. But he's pretty big. So I wonder how she was able to take him out again after living in the vault her whole life. How does she know how to fight someone? Maybe she's was training for that in some way. But her friend is warning her it's big out there, but she's like, I don't care, I'm going. And he's likely doesn't want her to go at all, but she knocks him out so she can go.
Higher.
So another wide shot, and she's holding something in her hand that actually kind of like a head, a human head. I don't know. That's what it looks like, but this could be later in the show where she's become kind of vicious, but it looks like earlier when she first comes out, she has that little pack on her, that little roll up on her pack that still looks clean, and she still has her hair in a ponytail. But that looks like a head to me, but I probably not.
I
Hollywood Boulevard. I mean, I don't know LA at all. I have no idea what it looks like. Or if they even really shot in LA at all. This reminds me of the games a lot. Like the style of it. Like there's areas like this all through the game.
just want
So yeah, this is interesting. This is likely showing them the first time she's met the ghoul, so I don't know. But she has a hole right there in her arm. Like maybe she was already been shot at, or she happened from that fight with the guy, but I doubt it.
to start.
This is interesting. Like I don't know. In the earlier trailers, I was getting the vibe that they met in the city, probably the first city that she gets to, but Maybe he tries to capture her and brings her there, or she goes together willingly. But another really great close-up shot of the makeup and how good it is. And I guess they CG'd out his nose likely, unless they pressed it up or something to like make that nose piece. But it does look slightly kind of blurry right there because it's hard to CG out someone's nose when they're moving all the time.
I've had a rough week.
Yeah, that's like her first probably week, and she's just like really doesn't know how to handle this. So maybe the show takes place in a week, maybe it takes place in like months. We're not sure. I'm thinking maybe a week or two. So right there it has Vaultec. I'm not really sure what that is. Vaultec, maybe plant. Yeah, I think that maybe say plant, like some type of plant, maybe something that has mutated the cockroaches and turned them into rad roaches, or this could be something that she saw in her own vault because it looks like the vault they're in is like a biome with plants and whatnot. Like the test of that vault is to see if they can grow crops underground. So this is some type of like growth thing that she maybe has seen underground and wondering how it's up here, or maybe because she seems like she's surprised by everything.
Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
Yeah, so everybody here has tried to kill me, she's saying, and one of the Mr. Handies who he likely isn't like, dangerous knowingly. He's just trying to test her and he wants to harvest her organs, but not in an evil way. I'm guessing maybe that's his main operation. Like, I'm the Mr. Handy that harvests organs, and then there's another Mr. Handy that, fixes things, whatnot. But even the way the pills, even the bottles and containers you see are just like in the games that you pick up everywhere you go all the time for like buff out. That reminds me of buff out, which I barely ever use in the games personally.
Simply going to harvest your organs.
So this looks like some type of medical device, or that dart machine that they have in the games that I never use either. Like Handy's shooting at her to knock her out, quote unquote, harvest her organs. Yeah. Yeah, she's barefoot. You can see that she's not wearing any shoes, wondering what that's about. Did Mr. Handy remove them for some reason? Maybe they fell off. Maybe she took them off willingly. I don't know. Then there's that guy whose name I don't know, but if you know him from Lost, I guess. And he's the doctor from earlier in the show, like the doctor that somehow escaped with some type of formula or information from the vault that Vault-Tec is lightly still after him to like get it back.
You need to
And she's just like, he's like, don't be up here. You should go back to the vaults and be safe.
go home. You come from a world.
And yes, this is the pre-leaving vault, and she's just hanging out with her friends, having the best life, fixing things. I'm getting the vibe that she's innocent, but she isn't the girly character. She's like handy with things. She knows how to fix stuff. She knows how to work a gun. Hanging out with her pregnant friend. Just doing stuff. Hey, we're besties. Life is perfect. Yeah. I mean, I guess they think life is perfect and they have no idea. But in the background, the distress of like the world is really bang on. And there she is hugging her friend, like, hey, I'm gonna leave. This could be like her maybe best friend, maybe even her brother. But it looks like they're right in front of the door. Earlier, it seemed like he was across some kind of bridge that she had closed. You can see the medical spray that they use. Well, what's happening here? I don't know. Like, why he isn't just going with her? Maybe she just forces him, like, no, you can't leave with me. Stay here. I'm going by myself. Could be a brother or a
You
best
should
friend.
not be alone.
So now we're back over to Maximus, who's the guy that is with the Brotherhood of Steel, and he's a new recruit, and you can tell that he's wanted to be in a Brotherhood his whole life. He thinks that these guys are the heroes, and to be with them and to work with them is what's the only thing that's right in his mind. The recruits behind me. This guy here, I don't know.
Be alone.
He's giving me, perhaps he's not a recruit. Maybe he's like a higher up of some sort, but he's there behind them as if he's with them, but maybe he's like their corporal or whatever. The hierarchy is an army. I don't know. This is the same shot that was in the first trailer where they're like, they see like one of the, I see one of the hit of steel floating things that I can't remember. I'm trying to remember stuff off the top of my head because unfortunately I'm kind of in a rush to do this and get it edited before I leave for work, but I'm kind of scared. I'm not sure if I can get that done. And this edit could suck, but I want to get done before I leave. So sorry if it sucks.
Why did you join the
Plus,
Brotherhood?
I didn't know there's going to be a trailer today. Why did you join the Brotherhood? Here's that scene where she looks like Maximus as a kid, sees one of these guys, and immediately he's like, these guys are the heroes. I want to be one. You can see it in his face. He's smiling. He's like, that's definitely the young Maximus. Or could you be just another kid who's like representing you of Maximus is? But this is likely him as a child seeing one of these guys and thinking, oh, these guys are the heroes. I want to be one of these guys when I grow up.
To hurt the people.
Yeah. So there he is. I want to hurt the people that hurt you, hurt me. So maybe his family probably died, and his ultimate goal is revenge. But who exactly the people are that hurt you isn't really clear. I mean, it's probably Voltec, but he doesn't realize that. Maybe he does. There's a scar on his shoulder.
People
I
who
can
hurt
tell
me.
the makeup is not that good. That's a cool shot of the Brotherhood of the steel armor closing down over it. Wondering if that's probably likely all practical. It looks practical. And the armor, of course, is still game perfect. And there's a shot of the ghoul, Cooper Howard, walking with his dog. There's like multiple dogs around, and I don't know if it's the same dog because another guy had a dog, and then Lucy had a dog. This looks like it could be a red racer or red truck or whatever it is. Gas station, but I'm giving more of a donut vibe. Like that's a donut store of some sort, maybe.
People are going to come after you.
So you can see like the whole wasteland, and that's I guess LA in front of him, but I mean he was in LA when the bombs dropped. So he was turned into a ghoul, which is why he's able to live for like 200 years. But that looks like water over there, the ocean of some sort, or the not of some sort. Yeah, and in this trailer, I'm getting vibes that he's a drug addict, that he's like dropping things, and he's lived for 200 years, so he's probably like just fed up with everything. I would be too after 200 years.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Volty.
Vaulty, yeah. So that's like the name, Vaulty. That's what they call people who are from the vault, which I guess are likely really rare to see. And there's Goggins. Dentist, barber, clothing. There's like all the little like places you can go in your cities. There's another mannequin head on a stick for some reason. People in the background, I don't know, maybe they're used to seeing this with him or someone else do this, but they're kind of like, what the F's going on? He's having a fight with maybe raiders of some sort. Perhaps the city gets raided a lot. Maybe he's kind of quote unquote the the city, or he gets paid to take out raiders that are like, constantly coming in the city to steal stuff. And that almost looks like a rad roach, or it could be squirrel bits of food that you find in the game. And yeah, whatever gun he's using, blew this mofo away. Oh shit, was that a hole in him? Yeah, right there. There's a giant hole. So whatever he's using is pretty badass. You can see his face between it. Yeah, so here they are again, and I don't know, this is probably after they first met by the river. Oh, and there's that guy lying down that from before. And the lady, I guess her name is Majunes. Maybe it's Mama June, Ma Junes. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking it's Ma Junes. There's a slight space between it, sundries. I don't know, which I guess is a word for everything. But she's pointing her gun at him, and oh, and there's a dog. Oh no, did the dog get shot? Oh no. They're gonna kill the dog. But it looks like it got shot, so that's sad. I'm wondering if it's the same dog the whole time or just different dogs. But it would suck to kill the dog off if he's gone through all that. And she shoots him with a dart, which I'm thinking this is probably like the drug he uses on himself. Yeah, he even says a line that makes sense. She shot him with some kind of dart. Now that's a very small drop.
Well, now that is a very small drop.
In a very large bucket of drugs. So he's saying that he's the bucket of drugs and he's a druggie himself. And it's likely that he injects himself with stuff or stuff like it personally all the time.
Very.
I mean, perhaps he's in some type of physical pain for being a ghoul for 200 years. Definitely in mental pain, of course, but physical pain, he likely could just be in pain, or he's just became a drug addict again because, he's lived for 200 years, so he's likely miserable as hell.
Very large bucket of drugs.
Can't wait. A little bit over 100. Of course, more of the helicopters. I'm really spacing on the names of some of these things right now, and I just don't want to take the time to look them up right now. No, sorry. To all the 10 people who got to watch this. Another Mr. Hand. About to cut her open. But first, earlier it hit her with a dart, knock her out, but now she's awake with this giant thing happening, so I'm not sure why it's kind of doing it in the opposite of what it should be doing. Oh yeah, there's the please stand by. Yeah, like you can see that this is a giant screen. And were that the whole time? Did they realize that it was kind of fake and they were just pretending everything was perfect? Because as you can see, all things have gone to hell. But what happened is again unclear. I'm thinking connecting back to that plant medicine she was holding. Maybe that's toxic and they didn't realize and they're using it to grow the crops and it's been secretly poisoning them for years and they just finally lost their minds and started fighting each other. But Wyatt didn't affect the overseer, and this looks like Lucy right here. Yeah, it looks like Lucy in a dress of some sort. So now this is giving me vibes that maybe this event they were doing was for her. Perhaps she was getting married even, or graduating in some way. I mean, I'm guessing this is Lucy in the dress. It looks like it is. Lucy in the dress. Yeah, I'm sure that's her. I mean, unless the mom is still alive, but they haven't mentioned there being a mom at all. One of them we saw earlier, but everyone is dead or passed out, and I don't know. I'm starting to connect that maybe it has something to do with that plant stuff that she was looking at earlier. Yeah, you can see the big screen that's just like from the games, and I'm wondering if they always knew that was a screen or they just thought it was, but they couldn't walk past it for some reason that they never asked about.
Wasteland.
So this lady here is giving me kind of like rebel vibes. like one of the factions of the world, not the Brotherhood of Steel. And she's kind of like the anti Brotherhood of Steel group that maybe they're working towards the same thing, but she's just doing it in a different way. But she's definitely a leader of some sort of faction. So yeah, she's probably likely the New California Republic, maybe, because that was one of the other main factions of the games is the New California Republic, which isn't so much an enemy of the Brotherhood of Steel, but they're kind of had the same goal, but they just don't agree with the fascist way that the Brotherhood of Steel do it. So I'm guessing this is the New California Republic. I don't see any iconography that tells me that, or a faction like it. She's clearly the leader of this group. Maybe she's blindly leading them, maybe she's not. Yeah, here they are. They're fighting the Brotherhood of Steel. So, but this person here is like shooting point blank at armor. So I don't know. That seems pretty pointless to me. It says something back here, something grift, house, grift. It's hard to read that. Factory, observatory, something observatory. Yeah, maybe this is the iconic observatory that you see in a lot of wide shots of LA, and I distinctly remember it, of course, from GTA 5. But the Brotherhood of Steel is fighting these people, and I don't know if they're attacking them. They're probably attacking them because this looks like a place where a faction would live.
Looks like chaos.
Yeah, here's the shot of Got Walton, who kind of makes it clear that he was an actor at some point. And then the Radiation King, of course, the Radiation King branding of the TVs, which is a joke at the old TVs that didn't have proper radiation protection back in the days when they first were invented.
But there's always some.
Yeah. So there he is in some area. Oh, there's a foot right there. Huh. So I didn't notice that before, where there's somebody behind him, probably somebody he killed, and he's hanging out, he's getting drunk. Probably what he does a lot of is just watching videos of himself, which sounds pretty depressing, and getting drunk, and there's Halloween stuff in the background. So maybe when the bombs dropped, it was October of whatever year it was.
Somebody behind the wheel.
Yeah, there's that line, always one behind the wheel, as in Vaultec, which is, I'm sure he's obviously knows that they're evil, but other people don't, like Lucy. Yeah, it's a shot from when the bombs first dropped and kind of a pool of some sort. Maybe that's where Walton. It looks. Yeah, this shot right here gives me vibes that there's his daughter, and his look on his face is, yeah, pure terror. He wants to protect his kid no matter what. This could be a party of some sort they were at. Maybe he was there to perform, to make some extra money. Because, it could be near the end of his career when this happened, and he was like looking for other work, just like the Vaultec commercial in the beginning. Or it could be just him hanging out, or maybe they were on set shooting something and it got interrupted. Actually, yeah, that looks kind of like a director's chair. So maybe they were shooting something, and that's when the bombs dropped. And there's his daughter. So, yeah, he just wants to save her. That's all that matters to him. The end. Even the trailer kind of has that dark comedy of like, hey, welcome to the end of the world. So here's another shot of similar to the other trailer of a Brotherhood of Steel fighting those bears that are a pain in the ass in the games. Again, the name I forget. But you can see they're able to take it on. But in the other trailer, the bears was like pulling on one of these guys and beating the crap out of him. So is that Maximus? I don't know. And this shot here is pretty amazing. See, again, more people shooting at these armor like they think it could help, but these people are like, I guess they have really tall actors of some sort. Maybe there's lifts. There's definitely lifts in the feet that make them look taller. But why this Brotherhood of Steel is here in this city coming after them, I don't know. I feel like they're just kind of blindly attacking cities because the Brotherhood of Steel tells them they're evil and they just assume they are and do it. Yeah, so a lot of the shots of this city, which I'm thinking is probably the first city Lucy comes to, and perhaps she stays there and, learns about what's really happening. But it used to be. Yeah. Another shot of these gulpers, I think. They're awful gulpers that I'm wondering if this is Maximus in this every time they show someone in the armor. Like this is maybe the first time he's ever gone out in the armor. He's been training for years to get to this point because he's ever since seeing these guys in the armor as a kid, that's what he wanted to do specifically. Like not just be in the Brotherhood of Steel, but be the guy that wears that armor. And gulpers against Brotherhood of Steel, I don't know. Who would win? Not too sure yet. There's that dog again. Lucy got shot in the arm. This might be the same scene from a different angle where Maximus is protecting them. So perhaps they protect people that they know are from the vault, but anyone else who isn't, they just think there's their enemy. And there's some guy getting like dragged away, maybe by one of those bears. What is happening here? And there's that little kid who could be Lucy's brother or friend. And they all have, blind smile on their face. Like, even though something is kind of messed up happening, again, potentially, maybe it could be from some type of poisoning that makes them complacent or like docile, even though effed up stuff is happening. Like, there's someone in the background with an injured face, and they still have that smile on their face.
What is happening here?
Yeah, so there's the guy from before, and it looks right here that he's potentially injecting himself with some type of serum or formula or antidote, and that's how he managed to get it out of this Vault-Tec facility, which is where I'm assuming where he is. So he injects himself with this formula and then escapes with the dog. Yeah. The magical dog that never seems to die. And there's a super duper mart. Their relationship is still confusing. Yeah, one shoe. She's missing a shoe for some reason. And there he is, drugging himself up. Probably found that this looks a lot exactly like the drug mart stores in the game, and he looks like he probably found one of these things, and he's like, yes, and similar kind of shop, but he's not wearing a hat this time, so I don't know if that's a tear or some of the drugs fell into his face, but you can see the details and the way that the lips, then the makeup still reacts to the way he shapes his lips. More explosions that looks like it's happening from the side of Murderbird. Yeah. That's the pilot. That was probably the guy that got dragged away by a creature earlier. Maximus inside a abandoned area of some sort, an office area. And he and Lucy together, I don't know, they likely probably didn't. Maybe they thought they were enemies at first, but pretty quickly realized they're on the same side. Because she's the good, he's the bad. And then the ghoul is the ugly. And ultimately, they all have the same goal. They just go about it the same different way. Yeah, exactly. This line right here tells you a lot. Everyone wants to save the world. Yeah, that's kind of the perfect theme of the entire series in a way. Everyone is just out to save the world. They just a different way, and in general, it's the wrong way to do it. Like same that similar shot from earlier where they just saw a giant hole where the bombs dropped, and there's Lucy taking out a rad roach. So this shot is interesting because there's an armor, but no one's in it. It's just kind of sitting there. So wondering if she gets in the armor eventually, but she's taking out a rad roach and explodes all gross with the green blood and the rad roach. Nasty looking mofos. Yeah, so they're in a vault and the armor's there, so and there's a giant scratch across it. So this Maximus or Lucy, but I don't know, maybe there's some type of training you need to go through to properly use the armor. If Lucy would be able to use it right away, not sure. And there's this person with the eye patch. I'm not sure if this is the same lady before that was pregnant. Maybe that's his mom, and again, that could be Lucy's brother, and that's her mom. Or maybe the mom is dead. See, again, this is a screen. There's an explosion happening. So maybe the test is that they're trying to figure out how they would react if an actual explosion happened in their real world, which they've never experienced because they've been underground their whole life. And someone just died, so everyone's kind of just losing their minds. And I'm thinking they're all drugged up, that maybe they didn't realize they've been drugged up, and the experiment is to see how they would react in a time of crisis, and clearly they reacted terribly. Congrats. Yeah, this is giving me another vibes that earlier when that uh, messed up event happens and Lucy's wearing that dress, that she's graduating of some sort, probably a graduating ceremony that gets interrupted by everyone going crazy with this really gross looking cake. Like that looks nasty, like Jello or whatever. It looks like it's a base of a cake with multiple layers, and it kind of looks pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there's that doctor escaping from some facility, and he's being shot at by these turrets that are always around in the world. And there's that dog again, dog meat. That shot earlier of him being shot makes me sad, but maybe it or she lived. So this is probably likely where, yeah, there's that rad roach that Lucy took out earlier, and then the armor was just nearby, and there's Maximus. Is likely the first time they ever met. Maybe they both had some kind of battle, and they worked together to dispatch of rad roaches or something. An interesting shot of kissing his wife from I'm sure before the bombs dropped. Yeah, this kind of gives me a vibe that this is the set that he was on to shoot that commercial, and this could be before or after, like saying, "Hey, good luck, honey. Don't break a leg or whatever." This is the first time seeing this actress, and I'm not sure. I kind of recognize her, but I'm not sure if it's who I think it is. It could just be some kind of a newer up and coming actor, but it is giving me vibes of a certain actress whose name I don't remember right now. But there he is, pre-bombs with his wife, and then later on you can see him with their daughter. So he had a good life. It's kind of, he had a good life before this happened, and 200 years later, he's completely miserable. Here's another shot of Lucy. She's been hardened.
There you are.
So how far along this is after her leaving could be a week. I'm thinking it's about a week maybe, and even just within that past week, after everything she's seen, she's kind of just like become this hardened warrior already. And, probably really pissed that she had no idea this is what the world is like. And there's a bandage on her arm from when she got shot earlier, and she's all bloody because she probably had to kill someone and didn't really want to. Right here, you little killer. She probably learned how to fight in the vault, even though then she probably wasn't sure why she had to. But her dad trained her. I'm thinking, like, maybe he knew that eventually she would have to leave, or that was just kind of her role in the vault.
Killer.
That was Walton again. The little killer. So yeah, another amazing trailer. There he is, the man. Probably the end of that commercial of like, yeah, Vaultic is awesome, but only because they're paying me a lot of money to say that. All episodes. Oh shit. That I didn't know. They're gonna drop the entire series. Damn, that's freaking cool. Wonder why I decided to go that route. Other shows on Amazon don't do that. Like, I think Reacher, which I recently watched, dropped episodes every week. So why they're choosing to drop the entire show right away? Interesting choice, and I would like to know why they did that. That was my look at the latest trailer. That was pretty awesome. I still like the last trailer better. It had way more cooler stuff happening, but that was my slightly quicker than I would like to have done breakdown, but I had like an hour to edit this and upload it, but I didn't know there was a new trailer dropping. Don't know if it was a secret, and it was just shadow dropped, but I'm excited as hell for this show more than any adaptation that's been released eventually, a release period. Fallout's one of my favorite game series, and this show is going to be good. I know it's going to be good. There's no doubt in my mind. It was only uploaded about 2 or 3 hours ago, and it almost has 1 million views. I kind of wish it had more than that already, but you can see the view count going up. But that was awesome. If you're watching this, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I need to go edit this baby and get it online. And hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. But until then, don't forget to keep gaming.